This is Spirit Medium Laura, and I'm tired this evening. To be honest with you all, I did a private circle for 5 individuals today. Yeah, 5 women. It was great circle, but now I'm like, ooh, and I did take a nap. But anyway, we'll do the best we can. The good news is I'm certainly warmed up to talk to the other side. Uh, so let's get started. A couple of announcements. One is that the first half hour to 40 minutes goes into more mediumship. I focus on that. And then after that, I will get into live questions. If you'd like to be in the contest to win a free session with me, all you need to do is join my mailing list. And to do that, go to spiritmediumtv.com, and on the upper right portion of that screen is the form to fill in to join my mailing list. And it's a monthly contest, so you're not competing with everybody up there. You're only competing with those people that joined during March, and that's pretty good odds. Okay. The other thing is, if you'd like a private session with me, I do have a sale going on. Just go to spiritmediumtv.com, and item number 1 on that page will show you how to get a very good price on a private session with me. And last but not least, if you would like to watch the show live, which is always riveting because all it is my head, but you can see me sweat sometimes, everybody. Just go to spiritmediumtv.com, item number 2 on that page. And this show is also being simulcast on Facebook and Twitter and Google+. I don't have a live feed on Pinterest because I just was a little too lazy to send that out there today. So you all are the lucky ones getting to listen to this. And guess what? Blog Talk has a whole new switchboard, really pretty. Susie D and I were talking about that before. And speaking of Susie D, she's in the background, probably saying hello to some of you people right now. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is give you an inspiration for the evening, or channel, or do something like that. And I always like to do all of this in the moment. I don't plan anything because I just think it's better that way. You never know what's going to come through, and usually it's very apropos. So what I'm going to do is channel, because lately that's what I've been doing. You never know when I'm going to change, but tonight I'm going to do a little channeling. Lately, I've been bringing in a group of beings called the One, which have to do with metaphysics and the ancestry of the deity, God, if you will, and also what the ascension is all about. I don't know who's going to come in. I don't know what message will come through, but bear with me while I go under and let's see what it is. Might be something else. Who knows? That's what makes it interesting. We are here. We are the One again. Thank you, Laura, for introducing us so avidly and accurately, for we are the One. When we say the One, we mean that we are the One that all those listening work with when you ask in prayer that your prayers be answered. We intercept your messages. We hear you. We are part of the all that is the collective consciousness of God. We are your angels. We are your light beings. We are the ones that work with you on your ascension and where you're going in your spiritual evolution. We wish that we could help each one of you the way you hear us now, but unfortunately you're not able to get through to us as much as we would like to. We are more able to hear you than you are to hear us. And so this evening we use Laura then as a mouthpiece or focal point that we can give you a message, each of you listening. And we will try, although there are many diverse people listening, we'll try to give a message that is unique and yet suitable for all of you. Highly intelligent message that will work with your higher intelligence and help you change, get what you want, assimilate, and rise to new vibrations, you see. For at the higher vibrations of life, the higher vibrations and frequencies of life, you will be able to ask and receive a lot easier. you see, at the higher vibrations of frequencies, there is not as much of a fixed reality as there is at lower vibrational frequencies. This evening we will speak about one way to shift your vibration to move it to higher frequencies. And this is through love. Oh, yes, you've heard the term love before and over and over and over again. We do not mean filial love or love for yourself or another human being or a pet or child or even God. We mean love in a very generic and universal sense. It is the sense that all is one, and that is why we call ourselves the One, for we are symbolic of that idea that what you want and what you hope for is already one with you. The more you understand that what you are resonating is what you are attracting, you will bring in what you desire. That may sound a bit like a contradiction, for how do you resonate that which you want? And that is by adding into your life now aspects of what you want. So, for example, if you want a relationship in your life, treat yourself as if you already have that relationship. Feel it every day. If you don't know how to go about that, then take time every day to listen to your heart and what that would bring to you. Would it bring to you a sense of peace? Would it bring to you a sense of being cared for by another? Well, in example, then we'll say, care for yourself. Give yourself what you need. Have yourself cared for by others. Ask for what you want. And then when you start to shift your frequency, what you're resonating, and bring in the vibrational match for that, you will find it will be easier to be in the relationship, you see. Because when one is already resonating the frequency of love, one can stay in the relationship. If one is wanting love from the relationship and does not bring love to the relationship, one will only stay in the relationship a short while. It will self-annihilate or combust. So think of what you want, give it to yourself before you have it, asking every day for what you want, but always resonating it now. And you will find that when you do attain that which you do want, that it will stay with you so long as you are always vibrating at that frequency. We hope that you are enjoying your message for today. We will leave now and allow Laura to come back into the room. Namaste. Okay, well, thank you very much for listening to that. I'm now going to go to the first person who is waiting for an other side connection, and that is Tina. So Tina, hold on. We're going to open up your line. Hello, Tina. How are you this evening?
Hello, Laura.
Hi.
I'm doing pretty well. Yourself?
Hi. I'm doing okay. Just a little tired. Sometimes it affects the ability to do mediumship because it is draining mediumship. But nevertheless, now you're from 312. Is that the Windy City, Chicago? What's 312? Just curious.
Sure, it is.
Sure is. Oh, okay, wonderful. All righty. Well, I do have a person here from Spirit for you. Feels more like all I want to talk about right now are vibrational frequencies, everything and coming into my head speaking about frequencies and vibration. But he comes in as the energy of a father figure or a male to you. A father figure can be taken very broadly, but that's the first person that I'm feeling or receiving for you. I'm going to see if there's anybody else. I'm going to ask you what direction you care to go in. I also need to ask you, Tina, to please stop fussing with whatever you're fussing with in the background. Are you doing anything?
Yes, I was.
Okay, it's important that you be focused also because literally you're the antenna. Okay, honey. So try to sit still, focus. Yeah, this is not something that we just do as an aside. We really have to. I have to focus, and so do you. So okay. So and also okay. Now I feel under you that you probably have a child. I do feel the energy of a son to you. I don't know why I'm getting that, but I just feel that. But let me just go to who's in spirit for you. Hold on. This is for Tina. Father. Okay, keep hearing a father figure. Hold on, let me see if I can refine that a little bit. Okay, he's a very strong personality, he says, when he was on Earth. And he was sort of, well, let's put it to you this way. It was like John Hancock. When he spoke, people listened. He was a dominating, he says, or domineering figure, this male for you. Now, when I say father figure, it could even be somebody that's not exactly your father, but is in an older generation. Could be like a father-in-law, an uncle, could be a grandpa, something like that. But this man is very strong, and he has a lot of willpower for himself and for other people. He's very much a striver, and he said in his life he used a lot of discipline, and he tried to hand that down to those around him. Strong personality. I see the hair color looks like original color was darker. Okay, darker hair and on the straighter side, the hair. Okay, very intelligent, achievement oriented. Feels like he had a lot to do with science, or he knew numbers very well. He's got a very analytical kind of mind. Do you understand this, honey, so far? And what I'm saying, can you relate to this at all?
I think that's my grandfather.
Okay. There is also a sense of him coming here from another country, or that he's from another country. Of course, you have a little bit of an accent, so that could be leading me there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
He says more from another country. He's not from here. He says, though he does like the United States and is glad that his family migrated here. And he says it wasn't. You have an accent, but he seems to say that the migration happened before your generation. In other words, it was his generation, or maybe your father's generation. So that's a little bit confusing to me, because if you were raised here, you wouldn't have an accent, right?
No, yeah.
Okay, so
I generated.
you migrated? Okay,
I migrated.
Okay, all right. Okay. He says you're very intellectual like him. You're very good at facts and figures. You're very analytical also. It seems like the family has a predisposition to science, or very knowledgeable and analytical in their thinking. Do you understand that? It makes sense for your family, please. You included.
True.
Okay. He says you're the most analytical of all, and he laughs a little bit because he says he didn't really have the formal education that you had. He says you're doing a lot with your life, and I'm very happy for you. He says, not to say I'm not happy with my own life. He says I had a very good time on Earth. He says I was a happy, fun-loving person, and I made the best of everything I had. But in my day, it was different than your day, Tina. He says you have different goals, and it's a different setup for you, different situation. He says you're very happy with your life, and he's very happy for you with your life. He says you've done a lot for yourself. You've made a lot of yourself, and he's very, very proud of you and where you're bringing the family line. And now he goes down the family line again to your own son. I'm assuming you have a son. I felt that right in the beginning. Do you have a child, please?
No, I don't.
Okay, well then maybe he's wanting you to carry on the family line. I don't know why I feel this child under you, but maybe that's something that we need to talk about.
I have a son in spirit.
Oh, okay, so that's the son in spirit he's talking about. Oh, let's go there. Okay, hold on for a second. So he's coming in as the introduction to that, Tina. Okay, he's opening of the portal up. All right, he's there. I get a sense of your son there saying, "Hi, Mama. Hi, Mom." Hold on. I love you, Mama. I love you, Mama. I don't know why he says Mama, if it has something to do with his age when he passed or whatever. I'm not quite sure yet. But he feels like he's young, okay, when he passes, around 5 years old, or, something like that. Not older than that age, if you will. But it's still a baby, still a young child. Very young, a loving child. Good temperament, by the way, and never gave you any problems. Seems to be that the child had some functional difficulties in the chest area, some kind of an illness, if you will, underdevelopment of certain organs in the chest area. Do you understand, please?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And they're actually saying heart and lungs. And I get a feeling of not developed properly. I get a sense of wheezing and difficulty breathing. Very loving connection I have between the two of you. He's got a lot of love for you, your child, because you, and I'm going to cry because it's so touching, but that you were there for him. And you were kind, and you were solid like a rock to help him. And he appreciates that. He wants you to know, Mama, I'm okay. I'm not suffering anymore. And I'm very grateful for the way you led me through that. because it wasn't easy for you and it wasn't easy for me. He says he loves you very, very much. He loves where you've laid him to rest. There's something special about that. He keeps going on. I love where you've laid me to rest. It's near your heart. It's near where you are. Okay. Do you understand that, honey? Do you understand that, love? It's near your heart that you've laid him to rest, and you'll always hold a part of him near your heart, near where you are. He says, thank you, Mommy. Yeah, thank you, Mommy, for that. I love you so much. Okay?
Yeah.
Thanks. You're welcome, sweetheart. God bless, love. Okay, I'm going to go now, all right?
Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. God bless. Thank you, honey. I'm sorry for you. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay. It's very touching for me also, everyone listening, because as a medium, sometimes we pick up emotions. Empathically, we're channeling their emotions and the connection between them. Tina, I'm so sorry for your loss. You were very brave through that time, and your son was able to communicate that to us. And thank you for calling in as well. Okay, I'm going to go to the next other side connection. I don't know if I can handle any more other side connections today, to be honest with you. I feel like my circuits are like overloaded. Okay, let's go to Sharon. Is she the one that wants another side? Yeah, okay. I think and I think you really need this evening, Sharon, for some reason. I'm getting a message that you're very, very in need to have this connection to the other side.
I am.
Yeah. Okay, let's just see what. First thing I get is a mothering feeling, a loving feeling from a female that's doting over you. Someone that took care of you. I don't know if it's actually your mom or grandma or an aunt or who it is, but there's a sense that this person was doting over you during much of your lifetime, caring for you. Something about giving you medicine when you were sick or helping you when you had troubles, that nursing kind of loving kind of energy I get. I see a woman specifically who's wearing a little extra weight on her body and seems to have as her hair color, the original color, more in the lighter family of hair colors. At least the hair looked lighter in coloring to me. There's a soft There's a soft wispiness to it, as if it's a little bit longer and she's loosely wearing it back off her face. I can't really see if it's a bun or what it is, but there's a sense of it being just a little longer and soft like that, rolling over her shoulders. She's very domestic in the way she appears to me, more of a mother type than a businesswoman, at least in the vision she's giving me, and that she's wearing an apron and she's just with this love, 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 love kind of thing. Hearts and flowers and love to you. Sorry for the interruption. I forgot to put my phone on airplane mode, everybody. Okay, so this loving mother figure is here for you. I'm going to get you something a little more specific, Sharon. I feel you're going through something right now, and this mother figure wants... What was that?
Yeah, I just lost my mother.
Okay. Okay. So she's trying to come in to soothe you over this, okay? She's trying to give you medicine. Okay, she's trying to soothe you. Oh, my dear, my dear, oh, my dear, don't worry about me. I'm okay. I'm going to get you a few more things. I got, a general sweep of things, the hair color and the way she looks and that loving mother domestic feeling to her. Very, very sweet, loving. There's a sense of her being very grateful to you for helping her towards her more feeble years, if you will, when she needed to be taken care of. You were around and you were there, and good for that. She also gives me a sense that you weren't able to take care of yourself very well during that time, as if something happened, right, that you couldn't go to work or that you couldn't get work or that you sacrificed monetarily in trying to take care of her. I can't get specifically more than that, but I just want to have a sense that she's trying to help you now, because you had to sacrifice so much to take care of her. Okay. She's saying to me that it was so difficult for you, and she's so grateful, Sharon, that it feels like you kind of lost touch with who you are during that period. So she wants to help you get back in touch with that sense of self, of who you really are. She says you're a creative person and an artist type, and you need to get back in touch with that. Don't let your other responsibilities hold you back from doing what you really want to do. She says it's enough that you had to be around for her. She says, but now, and it seems like you have other obligations, the way she's saying this. But you have to always prioritize that you need to slice out for yourself, okay, what you need to do for yourself. She says, yes, your family needs you, but you also need to take care of yourself. Okay, so don't overlook what you want to do with your own life, Mommy is saying. She says, you've sacrificed so much for me. I don't want you to give up who you are. Does that make sense to you, Sharon?
You're losing myself, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Losing yourself and caring for others. I don't know about the artist or creative or whatever that is, but she does say you're a creative person and you have a lot of talent, and she says you're overlooking your own talent. You have to look into that more. She says, I gave birth to you. I know who you are. You're a person who has talent. You're very creative. There's a word she's trying to give me. Very creative. Host or hospitable. What's the word, Mom? Hospitable. You're very good. Okay, the creativity is in people. You have people skills. And you're very creative in making other people feel comfortable. So she wants you to use your talent for more than just caring for those around you, but also care for yourself and now break out of your shell of where you are right now. It's time now to get started in your own life. She's fine. Okay, she's fine. She says, I feel almost guilty that I feel so good now because I took so much out of you. She says, I want you to take care of yourself for me now. Okay, for me.
Yeah.
Okay, and get the money thing. I don't know what's going on, but I keep getting a feeling that your money is off right now. You need to get your money back in balance. Yes? Okay, understand that. She says soon everything's going to get going for you. Everything's going to get cooking for you. And all your money issues and everything is just going to dissipate. Work on your own life. Work on yourself. And I also get the sense that you have a child under you, a boy. Do you have a son, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Passed.
Oh, another son that's passed. Wow. Oh, oh, wow. This is like a ditto of Tina, except instead of a father figure, of your mother. Okay, let's go to the son. Your son. He's here. He's here with her. Okay, just hold on a second. This is rough. This is a rough one to hook on to. Oh, hi, Mom. I'm sorry. Oh, God. I'm sorry what I did. He says to himself, I don't get him. I get an old, not too old, but more of a young man versus a baby here in spirit. Okay, you understand. He says, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mommy. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to do this. Now, when they say they're sorry, that means that there's something they did that is, at least in part, maybe a judgment issue. I'm getting a judgment issue on his part. There was a lack of judgment in something he did that upset everybody and certainly himself. He says he didn't mean it, but it was a judgment issue, and that took his life suddenly by storm. Nobody really understands what happened to him, but he wants to fill in the gaps. He says, Mom, he says, I was partly responsible for this. He says, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I was using. Now, using means probably drugs. Does this make sense to you, please?
No. No.
Okay. Do you understand wrong place, wrong time, please?
He was in the earlier, maybe. Yeah, earlier that day.
Earlier that day, wrong place, wrong time. Do you understand anything about using? It was very specific, this wording. Okay, he was using again.
No.
Oh, you don't understand that. Okay. Let me just go to him again. I was in the wrong place, the wrong time, and that led me to a state of emotional distress. I was upset about something in my own life, and I couldn't see beyond the forest for the trees. So basically, he's saying that whatever happened early in that day upset him a lot. I don't know what he means by using, but I will honor that. Let me see if he wants to elaborate. What do you mean by using, Love? I was using emotional stress as an excuse. Interesting. You were using emotional distress as an excuse to do what he did. He says, Mom, there are no excuses. I take full responsibility. So what he said, I'm sorry, I hope that you understand this, Sharon. I hope it makes sense to you, but he's saying that he's using this upset as an excuse back then when he did what he did. Does that make sense to you, honey?
Well, yeah, when he was upset with me when I was leaving that day.
Okay.
But it was, my fault too. But he was actually murdered later.
Okay, that's the wrong place, wrong time, right?
Well, he was home, doing what he was supposed to be doing. He was home watching TV. He wasn't doing anything wrong, and people came in and murdered him.
Well, okay, when they say wrong place, wrong time, that usually means murder, okay? So it doesn't mean that he was out of his house in the street. It just means he was the victim of somebody finding him there and murdering him. So he could have, he could have been out of his house. But I think he was sitting there sulking. And maybe from the argument he had with you, it sent him to go home and sit there and sulk. So he's wrong place, wrong time, emotionally upset. He says he's partially responsible for this and that he was in the wrong place, wrong time. And that just is another way of saying what you just said. I'm sorry for all the jumbledness. But he's taking responsibility a little bit for being in the wrong place at the wrong time, which is interesting. I've never heard that before. Yeah, he says, let me just get his connection. He has dark hair, yes? You remember dark hair? Yeah, okay. Very intelligent, very cerebral, very good kid in general, no problems with him. But he says, I was sulking, I was angry at you, and that led me to sit at home, but longer than I should have been there. He says, I could have been out with friends. I could have been out doing other things, but I didn't want to go out on my own. I was feeling sorry for myself, and I was sitting there. Now, I don't know who the perpetrators are. I'm going to see if I can get him to talk about that. I know you know. I'm just doing this for the purpose of evidence. Let me see what he says. There were friends there. It seems like somebody he knew. Okay, all right, okay, good. Friends. He calls them friends. Of course, in the end, that's not a friend. There seems to be an argument over something, and a big debate over something. And I feel that there was an what do you call it? A weapon used. It's giving me the sense of a gun or something like that. Do you know about a gun, please?
Yeah.
Okay. And he says,
but I don't know exactly what happened.
Okay, so let me go to that because this is very important, because I think this has to do with using drugs. Okay, I don't know if your son ever used it, because he seems like a perfect son, wonderful son. Okay, but it seems like there's some argument there, and that gun seems to have gone to his head. The gun to his head. There seems to be an argument, discussion, trying to negotiate, something about he took something from them or they took something from him, but argument about owning or possessing something. I don't know if there are drugs involved or not, other than what I heard the word using, and I get the sense of them fighting over something. They played a lot with his head that night. Trying to get him to admit to something. Oh, I get it. This is what he's saying, that they were trying to get him to admit to something that was taken from them, and they were trying to get him to say it, but he didn't take anything from them. So he was right. So his life was taken, even though he never did anything wrong to them. They didn't believe him, and they're pretty rough and mean people. So you know all of this.
I'm guessing. I'm trying to figure that part out, but I don't know who it was. I know two of the people, but I don't know the other people.
Oh, okay. Well, it does feel like there's, at least more than one person, because he's showing me, two at least to three people. But I can't do psychic detective work on the radio like this, because it's a private and personal matter for you, and it's. I'm under stress right now, And if I get anything wrong, you know, you're going to run off half-cocked with the wrong thing in your head. So let's just suffice it to say that he's given us a very clear understanding of part of this, and it does seem like there's more than one person involved, at least three, and that he was wrongly and unjustly accused of taking something from them, and he says, oh, well, they'll never get it now, he says. He's trying to make a little joke out of it. He says, Mom, I'm okay. Let me see what he wants to say. I want to see if I could get to more of a personal message, Sharon. What a terrible tragedy for you and for him. Let me just go to that. Okay, so there is a father figure there. Okay, you just lost your mother. There's also a father figure with him that could be a grandpa as well. He says they're taking care of me. They're nursing me back to health. He says I was very shocked by the event. I wasn't ready to transition when it first happened. He says now I understand it all, and plus, he says we do plan things in our life. And on some level, that choice to be at home was made by him on a subliminal level. So that's the wrong place, wrong time. He says, I made that choice to be there, and there was a pre-life plan that was a possible time for me to transition. I don't want you to feel responsible in any way. He says, this was my own choice and my own doing on a level to be there at that time. Also, I created the discord in my own life to have people that I knew that were like that. See, I chose them as friends, or whatever you want to call them, mistrustful people that were violent. They were people I knew, and I created that. He says, I love you. He says, I'm safe. And I want to see if I could give you one or two more things, Sharon. Hold on. I'm sorry for hurting you like this. I feel somehow responsible for letting you down. He says, I know that sounds strange, especially coming from me now that this has happened. But in a way, I let you down. And I want to say I'm sorry for that, because you always felt somehow responsible for my transition. You're not, and this was meant to be. He says, yes, now he's going to go a little bit more into soul plans and that kind of a thing for a moment. He says, when we make a plan, rather, for our life, we plan several times. This is for everyone listening. We plan many times that we can leave Earth, not just one time. He says, this was not necessarily my delivery date to spirit. He says it was one of them. And he says, you and I had made a potential agreement about that. He says, Mom, I'm okay. I'm safe. He says, I like where you've left me to rest. He says, I do come to visit that place from time to time. And he says, I also come to visit you quite a bit. He says, yes, Grandma's with me, and I'm with her, and I'm with other family members. It feels like there's a brother left on Earth that's with you still, like you have a son on Earth as well. Is that correct, please?
I have a grandson now,
okay.
But I have a daughter.
Okay. And so there's the youngest child there, which is what he's referring to, because I just get a general sense down the family line. He says, the family will carry on. He says, I know it's a sad tragedy, Mom, but he says, we are still here and we haven't left you. I'm going to look at one other thing, Sharon, to give you some comfort, because losing a child is probably one of the most difficult things that can ever happen to a parent or to anyone. I just want to see if I can give you how he's communicating with you, to give you something more to look for. May I do that, please? Okay. Let me go.
Yes,
okay. Let me just see. Okay. Now, there's also a name. I know your name's Sharon, but there's another name like a Sean or something like that. I don't know whose that is, or if that's significant to you. But there's like another name like that. You know Sean. Okay.
Yeah, he killed him.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, okay. All right. Let me just go forward. Yeah, he says he was the one. He says, don't worry about the other perpetrators. It really was him. And he also wants to say that Sean won't be on Earth much longer either because he will have to deal with this. But I don't want to go into that. Okay, sorry. There's also a T name like a Tom that comes into this. I don't know who that is. Okay, now, for a message about how you're communicating with your mother, please. Can you give her anything, please? I'm in your house a lot. He says he comes into the house a lot to say hello. He's hanging out with the baby. That's your, I guess that's your daughter's child. I'm not sure if it's his child, but I think it's your daughter's child. He sees the baby, things like that. When the baby's visiting, the baby sees him. People see him. I also feel a dog in your house. You have a dog in your house, please.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
the dog sees him, and you sense him at times, and you're wondering if it's just because you're emotionally in an upheaval right now, or whatever. But he says that is his energy that's about you and about the place. And he also says, which is kind of interesting, sometimes he makes you feel that you should be cooking his favorite meal for him. He says that he does that to you sometimes to just make you think of him.
Oh.
Yeah. So maybe sometimes you think, oh, I want to cook this, and then you realize, well, I can't cook it for him because he's not here. The way of communicating with you is through food. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So food is important, he says, for you and for everybody on Earth, and even for me. I use that as a way to symbolize love, and it's my connection to you, Mama. I love you very much. Thank you for being my mother, and remember, I'm not dead. I'm just living in a different dimension.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder if he brought up those people because since his passing, I'm still being harassed personally. He's breaking in.
Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, because I feel around you such a turmoil. Like you're very uneasy right now, very much ill at ease. I know some of it is monetary issues that you have, but on top of that, there's something more. Let's see if he can answer that for you. Do you know if Sean's still living?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. No, they're not trying to get anything from you. I think what you are is really, really, really vulnerable right now, Sharon.
Well, people are breaking into my house, so it's just not them. Okay.
Well, he says no, it's not them. Yeah, and but also, if you have one break-in, it's very, very intrusive. Especially after all the other things. In other words, it can really shake you up after everything else that happened, you see. But it's not them, is what he says. He says, Mom, you got to take it easy now. You really have to take a time out for yourself. Try to just take a time out for yourself. He says something about making the house safer and something about, are you thinking of putting bars on the windows? Or something like that to make the house more safe. Well, he wants you to make.
Trying to stop them from breaking in and keep them out.
Okay, well, try to look into that. There is a way to make the house safer. So that's something you definitely should have. He says mostly just so that you feel safe. He says that he doesn't feel they're going to come back. Okay. He says that they were looking for cash in the house and you don't keep much cash about, and when they didn't find any, you're off their list. Okay. Sharon?
Can you ask him one thing?
Okay.
For my mom, if the car is safe?
Your car? Let me see. And then I'm going to have to go on because I have a lot of people waiting, love. I just want to give you some attention. No, that's all right, honey. I know it's a terrible, terrible tragedy. You and Tina. Hold on. It's safe. He says, though, don't drive into neighborhoods that are not safe anymore. Try to stay away from that. He says it wouldn't be safe in an unsafe neighborhood. And what he means by that is it seems that you've taken the car sometimes in the neighborhoods they're a little iffy. The neighborhoods, stay away from those places, please, Mom. He says, stay away from those places. And just try to keep yourself as safe as possible. Okay?
Thank you for for, we.
Yeah, I know, sweetheart. I know. And you just go off now and try to nourish yourself right after this phone call.
I can't seem to get this funeral done.
Oh.
I can't seem to get the plans done. I can't focus. So
I know. So what you need to do is take a little time out for yourself if you can. When you're maybe take a nap or take a sleep or just let it go to the back burner for now. Everybody listening, if you feel overwhelmed in life, it's just a time for a break. Then go back to it. You'll be fine in a couple of days. Just take a little time out, Sharon. My heart goes out to you, my sweetheart. My heart goes out to you, honey. God bless,
love. Thank you so much.
Yes, honey. God bless. Bye-bye.
Right.
Wow, what an evening this is, everyone. I just want to remind you that if you would like a private session with me, I am now having a sale. Go to booklaura.com and you will find a sale going on for private session with me. If you want to join my mailing list to be in the contest to win a free reading, well, let's put it to you this way. If you want to be in the contest to win a free reading, join my mailing list. Go to spiritmediumtv.com, and on the upper right portion of that screen, you will see a form. Join my mailing list. You're only competing with those people who joined the mailing list during March. It's a monthly contest. I want to thank Sharon and Tina for coming here and allowing these vulnerable situations in their life to be discussed in public. I want to offer you, Tina, and you, Sharon, and anyone else that I can't get to tonight. We're not done with the show yet, but I'm just saying this now for the record. I want to offer you my sincerest condolences and love and my heartfelt empathy for you. I've never had a loss of a child because I don't have any children, but I have had loss in my life, so I understand the pain. But not only that, everyone listening, as a medium, we literally get mixed up in that pain because we're connected with you. So my sincerest condolences to you and everyone else I don't get to. Okay, I'm going to go to a life question to Penny, who's been waiting very long. Hold on. So Penny, all I want from you, sweetheart, is your actual question. I don't want a lot of background information. Are you there, please, Penny?
Yes, I am.
Okay, sweetheart.
There's actually two areas, so I'm open to whatever one you pick more up on or however you want to do it, either regarding job changes or long-term relationships, whichever one you feel there.
So if I were to ask the question, will I have a job change as I'd like, is that a good question for you, please? I'm trying to fashion.
I'm in a transition right now. I'm just wondering if it's a good job for me or it's the right path for me.
Okay, good. Yeah, I don't want to have to figure out the question because it is a radio show and we've just had two people that lost children. So I'm a little bit harried. Okay, so is the transition to the new job going to work? Yeah, everything's going to work out good for you. You're very smart, Penny. You're very competent. And I also want to tell you, it feels like you're already in the job. Is that correct, please?
I feel like it's pretty much been told to me. It's not official yet, though. But
okay, well,
it sounds pretty promising.
Okay, well, what I hear is they like you very much, and that it looks like the door is going to open for you there. There'll be more money in the long run. Doesn't feel like it's a great raise right now, but in the long run, you will be in a better position to be able to demand or command a higher salary in the long run. As I say the word salary, I also feel a little something else coming in that's more than just a salary. It's like something entrepreneurial there, maybe a bonus, or maybe there's a commission or something, but it's big, it's broad. It's going to make you expand a lot in your skill set and also your earnings potential, which is extremely important to you at this time in your life, particularly because it feels like you're responsible for bringing in, a lot of money to, like as if you're an important breadwinner for the household. I'll put it to you that way. Like as if you have other people demanding or requiring they rely on you. And so you want to have money, you really want to do well. You're already saying yes to that, so you understand. So everything, yeah. And so God is working with you and your angels to help you, because you have such a burden on your shoulder, such a nut to crack every month, to bring home the bacon, so to speak. I'm a vegetarian, so we'll use a different word, to bring home the money. I don't like to think of killing pigs. I think they're cute, but you have a lot of responsibility. And just like you think, this is going to work out for you in that area. Okay? All right. Now,
it'll be a good fit. That's good to hear.
It's a good fit. You're very smart. You're very competent. They keep saying that your guides, your angels, I'm going to make up a new word, your gangles, guides and angels together, or your divine beings, they're helping you, and you're being helped because you have asked for help. And because you're such a wonderful person, so you're being helped, you're being guided, you're being led, and as far as love goes, that will also be returned to you in the long run. You've been protected from a relationship that didn't work out. It was taken from you. You feel maybe that it wasn't fair that it was taken from you, but actually in the long run, there's somebody better coming to you. So just keep your eye out for that, because I had a woman today who I did mediumship for, and her first husband came in. He was electrocuted, by the way, and then he said, her husband from spirit, he said, he says, you're with your soulmate now. And she was married again to somebody else. And she said, yes, I sometimes feel that my first husband had to step aside so that I could be put with the right one. Now, I'm not saying your first husband is dead or anything. I know he's not. But I'm just saying that sometimes we lose a relationship and we feel badly as it goes from us. But it's really clearing a path for somebody better for you. So in the long run, it's a blessing in disguise. Okay?
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, honey. God bless. Bye-bye. Bye. You're welcome. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to go to Twee, who has a live question. Good evening, Twee.
Hi, Lauren.
Hi, honey. Thanks for waiting so long. So as I mentioned to Penny, I just want your question. Not a lot of background, but I do want a question. Don't say general, okay?
Okay. So my question is, I'm still searching for a new good job. When do you pick up when I start my next new job?
Yes, the first thing I want to say is you will get one soon. I hear that even before you finish your question. You will get a new job soon. It's coming to you unexpectedly. I don't know what they mean by that, but I will find out. And they mean even though you've been looking through normal channels or traditional channels, it's actually going to just sort of pop in your lap through, I believe, through a friend of a friend or just hearing about it, okay? And it will have a very magical component to it, almost as if you never could have planned for something as good as this new job, which leads me to say, Twee, that you're kind of not understanding. Don't settle. Okay, don't settle. That there are beautiful, wonderful things and jobs that you could have, and you're just like trying to find subsistence level jobs. They want your guys to think broader, bigger for yourself, because there is magic coming to you, something better than you ever thought about. Now, the way you're thinking right now is not going to change that. It's still going to pop in your lap. The reason I'm saying this to you is because they want me to say it to you. Is like you don't think enough of yourself. You don't think enough of yourself. Let me qualify that. You think a lot of yourself. You do have good self-esteem. But the thing that they mean is that you can do better for yourself. You're very humble. Okay? You're humble. So think big, think broad, and there is something coming. I'm going to give you a little more info about that. Hold on. Please come in, Spirit. The job that you like is coming to you. It's broader and bigger in its scope than you ever thought possible. It has an international context to it. And also, there's something about you. Either you like to travel, you speak another language, or you're global in nature. You have something about you like that will be utilized in the job. Does that make sense to you, please?
I do know another language, but still waiting for that job. So.
Okay, what's the other language that you know, honey?
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese. Okay. Well, this is going to help you your other language is going to help you in getting the job, believe it or not. I know it sounds odd, but that's going to help you. And there's going to be an international part of it. It's going to be big. It's going to be global. You have a lot going for you, okay? A lot more than you realize. Don't be so humble. Think big. And now, is there anything she needs to do, Spirit, to help her get the job, new job? She just needs to keep doing what she's doing, but she also needs to think bigger of herself. That's the only thing you're missing, because that will help bring it in. You can do things that you haven't been applying for. You have more skill set, or a deeper skill set, than you've been giving yourself credit for. And now they're giving me a little more information. Okay, now I don't know where you live. Where's 408? Is that Georgia?
No, it's California.
California?
Bay area.
Okay. Well, I see. It gives me the impression that you might be looking or thinking, or maybe you didn't think of this yet, but that you could do something that has to do with people making investments in real estate. Have you ever thought of that at all?
No, it's really out of my education or what I've been trained for.
Okay. Well, I get what have you been trained for? I'm going to map in what I just saw. Maybe I can map it into that. What have you been trained for, Twee?
Pharmacist.
Okay. Interesting. That's good. Pharmacy is good, but okay, so I will just say it again. If somebody talks to you about possibly helping, say, people from another country find real estate in the Bay Area, listen up. You may end up doing something you didn't plan for. Okay?
Okay.
All right? Because they're saying you're not thinking, and I know that's a wonderful credential to have, being a pharmacist, but you can get something that's bigger and broader than that and will have a lot of earnings potential. So you could always keep your day job until this other thing takes off, but it feels global, it feels big, and it feels very exciting. Okay, my dear?
Okay, Laura, just to clarify, is it safe to say within the season, like spring, this is when you'll pop up?
No. Okay, so let me just see something here. I'm going to be silent for a second. You're employed now, aren't you, honey?
I am.
Okay.
But,
no, don't say anything more. I just wanted to ascertain that because the nature of your question suggested you were not employed. So the answer has to be, don't be so impatient, miss. Okay, you're very unhappy where you are. I get it. You will find employment very soon in the area that you're looking to have, but there's also going to be something else that's going to pop up that in the long run will be better for you. So you could do both together. But for the short term, you will be able to find a new job, more to your liking, where there's not as much pressure on you. And that will be within 6 to 8 weeks. Okay? So don't worry about that, darling.
Okay, great. Thank you for like helping me
sure.
find peace.
I know, honey. You know, I'm going to say this while you're still on the phone, and I'll tell everybody. I actually I dated a pharmacist for a while, and he told me how difficult that field is. I never thought, pharmacist is like one thread away from a doctor, Oh, my goodness, you want to say sir to him constantly. I have a lot of respect for that kind of educational background and everything. But it's it's a lot of pressure in that kind of industry. And I know how you feel. I know if you're in the wrong position, it can be very, very upsetting. So God's working with you on that, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Twee. Bye-bye, honey. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay, I am going to go I'm probably not going to be, well, I'm finding the other side's a little too intense for me right now, so I'm going to go to a live question. Tony. Hi, Tony. How are you this evening?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Now, Tony, just give me your question. Not a lot of background, okay?
Yes. My question is, should I go with a literary agent that I had met, or should I just seek a different option?
No, you should go with the one you have now. Is it a man?
No, it's a female.
Okay. Well, she's got a lot of male energy to her. She must be pretty aggressive. I do like her very much for you, and she's going to be able to get you ahead. She's a fighter, a salesperson. She does what she does well. It feels like she's from a smaller pool of potential agents, if you will. So she tries harder. Okay, if you were to go with a bigger company, a bigger publisher, which I think is underlying your thinking here, it would do less for you in the long run. Better to go with the smaller business, because this woman, she feels like she's very on her own, if you will. She's a real pusher and a driver type. Does that make sense to you, please?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So do that. Okay. Do that. I want to see something else, because she's going to push for this. But there's a feedback on the phone or line. So if you're playing my video or something in the background, you have to silence it. Okay.
My video speaker. If
Oh, okay. Thank you, honey. Appreciate that. Yeah, I just wanted to say that I feel that she's okay. They tell me she's a mover and a shaker. She wants this as much as you do, because if she does put your book on the map, it becomes a huge feather or coup for her. It's like a big accomplishment for her. So she's on, she's on the same page with the same objectives, the same goals. So don't doubt her. Now, the only other thing I have to look at is, can she? I know she has the drive, but what is the potential here, Spirit? It's for Tony. Are you in California also, honey? It's 646 is No, it's New York. Okay. New York. Yeah, hold on. New York's a great place. I'm from New York. Hold on one second, please. Let's just see. Because it feels like there's a movie component to this, or that this can go far, this book. There's something about it is so extremely special, that this woman believes in you, like believes that this is going to go bigger than just getting published, that is going to lead to some other kinds of work, and that when she gets it published, she goes along with that. She's kind of like gets the name, the notoriety. There's a huge bonus behind this book. It's not just getting it published, it's getting it to the next level. So it looks like that's all going to happen. Let me just see one other thing. Will she be able to get this pushed through to higher levels, spirits? Okay, so she seems to have contacts or knows people that get the book beyond just published. There's something else for exposure that's going to happen to the book. It's going to either get into some kind of contest to win awards, or that it's going to be looked at by directors in Hollywood, or something like that. So there's more to it than just publishing it, and that she has the ability to do that. Make sense?
Makes sense, yes.
Okay. I also hear something about a Peebles Award or a People's Award or some kind of award, a literary award that goes with this. So that's what she's about. I don't know awards for books, publishers, or anything, but it sounds like Peebles to me, or People's or something like that. But that's the one that that seems to be behind this. So I get a very good feeling for her and for you.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, love. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, I just wanted to say we have a couple of minutes left. If you want a private session, they're on sale. Go to booklaura.com. I've got a great sale going on for one-on-one. If you'd like to be in to win a free session with me, just go to spiritmediumtv.com, and on the upper right portion of the screen is the form to fill in to join my mailing list to win a free reading. I'm going to do one other soul, one other person before I go. Even though the radio show will end, Spirit Medium TV will continue to broadcast this. I will do an other side connection. I don't know why.
90 seconds.
Because I'm tired, but I just feel responsible to do that. So I'm going to go to Donna, who's wanting an other side connection. Hello, Donna. How are you this evening, honey?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, honey. I'm glad to hear a cheerful voice, especially when there's another side connection. Okay.
And when you make this connection, it will make your day. So this.
Oh, okay. Because the other sessions were very tragic.
60 seconds.
I'm so sorry.
I know. I am as well. I do feel a female around you, a mother figure, but she does feel cheerful. Okay. I don't know if that's who you want or what you want. I'm just going to see if there's anybody else there. Donna, hold on one second. Is there anybody else? Yeah, I primarily feel this female to you. Is there a mother figure that you're thinking that you want to speak with, honey? Because you said that this would be cheerful.
Yes.
Okay. She's jumping up and down. Okay, she's jumping up and down. She's so happy to come through. She's just a real cutie pie. All right. She looks like a little bit more on the petite side in height, but a little bit broader in figure. She's scolding me a little bit for saying that, but she does
10
carry
seconds.
a little extra weight on her body, if you will. She looks like she's a little bit lighter in coloring as well. And okay, she says, and she had rosier cheeks than most. I don't know why she's saying that, but she seems to have good color in her cheeks. She actually, her name was Rosie.
Her name is Rose.
Oh, okay. All right. Perfect. Perfect. She loves you very much. She's glad that you called her in this evening. And she says, of course, she's fine. And you know she's fine. She's happy that you let her go because it was her time to pass. She's absolutely happy where she is. So that's the happiness there because it was brutal for her waiting for that transition. And it was for a lot of people around her. She says she was ready to go a long time before she went. But she seems always to have this cheerful kind of personality, if you will, and a very sweet kind of woman. I think I mentioned the hair that I see is lighter in coloring. Now, from everything I said, is everything making sense so far, please?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
She loves you.
I'm glad she said that she is grateful that I let her go because I had power of attorney for medical and
oh wow.
I let her go.
Oh.
They said that they were going to put a tube down her. They would trach her, and she could go in a nursing home. And I said no.
Oh.
My mom go. And I regretted doing that.
Oh. And
she's telling you.
She's telling you. Thank you
for letting me go.
Yeah, she says, I was ready to go a long time before I was let go. She says, I was miserable in my body. I didn't want to be there anymore. Yeah.
Oh, she had MS and she had myasthenia gravis, and every day she smiled and said, I love you, baby, every day to me, because she lived with my ex-husband and I, which hopefully now she's not mad at me because I divorced and I'm with someone else, so hopefully she accepts this. I worry that she thinks every day, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because I've made such big changes in my life.
No, I'll give you what she's saying. She's saying that she loves you just as you are and all the decisions that you've made. She says, of course you have to do what's right for yourself, honey. It's not about me. She says, yes, I loved your ex-husband very much, but he wasn't right for you. And she also says it was a hard decision for you to make because you did feel very grateful to him. Yeah, you love him. He's a sweet guy, but he's not right for you in that area. But she says, you did the right thing in letting me go and in letting him go. She says, I'm so happy here among the daisies and flowers. She says, I love you very, very much. Yeah. All right, sweetheart, I'm going to
tell her I said, thank you for not saying bad boy words to you. Because I thought, oh my gosh, she comes on and says bad boy words to Laura. That Laura may be like, who am I talking to? I love her and thank you for not saying bad boy words.
Let me say this to you. You can always, and everybody listening, if anybody is still listening, you can always talk to them directly. So I'm glad you said that now on the air, though. That was very appropriate. Thank you, Donna, so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
All right. And if you haven't joined our mailing list, go ahead and do so at Spirit Medium TV. Be in the contest.
I did. Thank you, Laura. Take care.
Thank you, love. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in this evening, and I hope you have a blessed day and evening, whatever's left of it. God bless. Bye.